Good evening. I forgot to turn my mic on. Oops. Right. What I'm going to be speaking about is some funny posts or what you think is funny. It's like, what's the funniest thing you've ever done? Right. It's like, what's a funny story from your life? It could be any number of stories, right? It says, one of mine was when my best friend in primary school was busted for taking a poo from a tree. From a tree. We were playing in the oval and we dared our friend Dylan to poo from the tree. He went and sat on a tall branch and pooed, and as it was halfway fallen, one of the teachers came out and busted him. And that was about 20 years ago, and it still makes them laugh. Right, that's actually pretty funny. Imagine getting busted for the. That was a good one. Somebody else wrote, once worked at a jewellery store and the owner was a real jerk. This guy with Down syndrome comes in, walks anywhere, he picks up anything, and the owner tries to fuse in the situation, but he ends up in a headlock. I'm dying laughing while the jerk asks for help, demands I stop laughing and do something. I walk over with open arms and say, yo, that's the best shit I've ever seen in my life. Dude, let's there it go. And then gives me a hug and then leaves. Oh my god. If you've any funny stories, what's happened maybe your life at school, primary school or high school. I know in America there are different places they call them. Well, it's still called primary, because in primary schools here in Scotland it's primary 1 to 7, and secondary school is S1 to S6. So I know different places are different, and we're very behind compared to a lot of other people in the world with our grades and things like that. I think America's quite high up with their grades, which I think is amazing. I mean, they've got a lot of their teachers, what they do for the kids is absolutely fantastic. I'm not saying it's good. I mean, I've got a child, it goes to an assisted school for people that are disabled, and what they do for the kids is absolutely amazing. So yeah, in sixth grade, say the grade when it says sixth grade, it could be either I think the English down there the day grades, and also I think Americans day grades as well. Is it grades in America? I know English in England they do it as a grades. In sixth grade, I was at an amusement park with my best friend Jared. He was a really heavy kid and tall, probably 6 feet and well on his way to 300 pounds, if not 10 or 15 pounds over. He was huge. We rode in a log flume, which was basically a lazy river, which led to a steep ramp, an even steeper drop at the end. The ride attendant loaded us up into the canoe with Gerald in the front, me at the back, and two much younger, between 7 and 8 kids in the middle. Being absolutely rotten to the core, as most sixth grade boys are. I wonder what year that's are. Is that primary or high school? We decided to scare the little kids by musing over every possible thing that could do wrong or on the we could go wrong on the ride, and how terrible our death could be. Oh my god! Right, I I, I don't recall every horror and catastrophe we dreamt up. You have to use your imagination. I am, and just think of the poor kids on that ride to be terrified, but funny. Eh, but I'll never forget about forget what Jared did. Inspiration struck and he grabbed the sides of our canoe and announced, "Hell, I'm a big boy, I might just capsize." The son of a bitch. Excuse my language. It says it right. He then proceeded to rock the canoe from side to side as we bounced and swerved along the lazy river. Being in the back, I had the perfect view. The kids were so damn scared. The look in their eyes was pure terror. I was cackling and laughing hysterically. This went on until the ramp just before the big drop at the end of the ride. So probably about 90 seconds, but I guarantee it felt much longer to the young ones. Oh my god, the waves would have been. I swear it's always the older ones, it does it to the younger ones, innit? No foot fail. For primary, if it's no primary school, it's high school. So it's not that always when the new ones come in, it's like let's get the new. Do you know what I mean? It always happens. It always plays pranks, no matter what. When the ride was over, they were pretty much climbing over each other to get out. I saw they were tipping like a herd, like trampling each other, like screaming. I saw them later in the day and they appeared to be fully recovered and having a great time. Kids are resilient, but the rest of the days, Jared and I cry laughed whenever we thought of it. And of course, when one of us started laughing, it would trip off the other. That's actually really, that's the story. Philippo getting dropped in the teacher, but never mind. Oh, I guess you really. I mean, I don't know. I mean, let's see how this one turns out. I fell in a sewer in a bridesmaid's dress when I was 9. The lid was off the manhole, and I was wearing a hoop skirt, so couldn't see my feet. The dress saved my life, but my mother was big mad about the dress and the missing reception. That wasn't that funny. One time they were in school, just a normal day, and we walk into French class and the class starts. It's like 10 minutes and then some random kid's probably in grade 10 or 9 runs in, grabs a desk and runs out. Never to be seen again. But that's not the end. It's the last day of school here, and I walk into French class, 10 minutes go by, and at the exact time as 5 months ago, the same kid walks in with a desk, puts it back, and runs out again. And somebody wrote Matrix. Oh my god. Just say if you've got any stories down below, just write them, right? I'll read a few more. This one's for Safe Bad 9786, right? It was saying, I wasn't in a good mood due to personal drama in the family life. So I had to do goodwill to cheer myself up. For our context, I've been to this particular goodwill a lot. I didn't know the people who worked there and very well. There were 3 guys and girls who worked there and were well known for being a little silly, which I enjoyed since it lightened up my mood. Cut to this day when I was really upset and decided to go to Goodwill. I took a small route and passed into an alleyway that led to Goodwill. But when I turned left and looked through the big glass window, I saw one of the women I talked about twerking. No, I'm not joking. She was in fact twerking. Could only watch for this expression. Right, I was just having fun before they saw me and had an embarrassing look in their faces. I turned back into the corner I came from. I laughed for about 5 minutes. I was hysterical. I couldn't control it, as if this was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. Sometimes you need a laugh and a joke, and it could be a random, it could be a family member, it could be a stranger that brightens up your day. Afterwards, I went in and went up to the cashier register where the three girls were, and they all had embarrassed faces and asked what happened. They told me that the two of them didn't know how to twerk, and the other one decided to give them a demonstration on how it's done. They weren't expecting me to come by, obviously, that day, but I was glad I did and told them that what it did lighten my day, and this was genuinely wholesome and awkward moment to remember. We all laughed and went on with obviously their day. Now I visit the Goodwill more often and now hang out with them on a daily basis. For clarification, there were customers in the store, but they were in the bad and didn't in the back, obviously whatever parting it, and didn't see what was going on. And obviously the three girls were on a break, as well as the three guys who were in the back of the store too. Imagine that, you're at the back and you're twirling and nobody. You don't expect anybody. It's not that. It's not that. Have fun, have laughter. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's my kids. It's not that. It's even you see the buskers on the streets. I sometimes sing along when my son's pushing me in a chair, and I sing along and I dance in the chair, and my kids go, "Mum, please don't, please don't, please don't. You're embarrassing us." What? I don't care. It's, so go live. You'll have one life. Live it and have fun. As long as you don't cause trouble or you're being nasty to anybody else, then whatever, right? So this is what it's about. People are far too serious and take things to heart. It's too woke nowadays. No, I mean, it's like you've got your comedians that have jokes. Do they meet? They say it on stage for a laugh or reaction, but some people take it too seriously. Remember, that's their job. But do they mean it really? But a lot of the things they say, probably not. But so it's caught them where they are. A lot of them today. So lighten up, guys. Don't back and sit and complain about things. And it's like, oh, I didn't like what you says. Wow, whatever. Just get a grip. And this is somebody that says obviously they were at a live music night in a small town in England, North Devon. A well-known butcher, everyone knows him. The population is about 20k. Came into the room. He clearly quite a bit to drink and skipped past the pay desk. How they managed that one, but I'm not got angry. Crudely set up at the entrance on a table. The solitary bouncer, slow to react, now stepped in to challenge the cheeky meat merchant. Instead of agreeing to pay, the local hero inconspicuously clapped his hands together, double hand pushed the bouncer away from his personal space, and completed what I can only describe as an untrained backflip. Then he proceeded to run around the venue whilst a hapless doorman tried to grab him in a cartoon-like chasing, grasping at thin air as a much smaller nifty butcher evaded his grabs. Me and my brother were crying for some time. Oh my God. I have seen, when I used to go to dance, and oh my God, some I remember going, my friend of 20 odd years, we don't speak anymore due to reasons, and that's fine. But it was, she got really, it's like she was drunk. I mean, she was drunk, so was her partner. And I didn't have much to drink because it's like, and it was called, in the dances, you could get, from 5 o'clock onwards, you can get a drink for £1. Now, so you're thinking the amount of people that were absolutely steaming in the dancing, and they had different floors in the dancing, like different, obviously, and it was great. And it's like, see that way, 1 minute she's there, the next minute she's no. I'm holding her shoes and her bag and her jacket, and I'm going, where the heck did she go? And he's disappeared. So the two of them have went separate ways, and I'm looking all over the pub, started looking the other town. Turns out they were in the pub, they were in that bloody place. I just didn't see them. And it's like, even the bouncers couldn't see them. So they're running about, going up and down the stairs, sitting looking for these two, because obviously they knew us for getting in every weekend, right? So they knew exactly like that. We can't even find them. Where the heck are they? They were in one of the guys' toilets, and well, leave your mind to think about what they were up to, but never mind. And I'd obviously left, got the bus home, and had all our stuff, and I phoned her, and I was like, where the heck are you? You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's Ashes one, but I mean, there's plenty. But believe me, you do see things, a lot of things. As I say, it's like, but it is funny, things that you remember, but it might have not been funny sometimes, it's that particular moment, but see, when you look back at things, you do have a laugh and a joke. Somebody was called Jono, 56, 6'7". Obviously, as I just said, wasn't fun at the time, but it's obviously hilarious now. When they were at high school, probably 8th or 9th grade, we went to the local swimming pool for sport class. With our class, when the class finished, everyone went back to the changing rooms to get their uniforms back on, and then on the bus, when I went in there, I went into one of the cubicles and get changed. When I'd finished and I went to unlock the door, however, the locking mechanism wouldn't spin, but the lock wouldn't unlock. I was trapped in the cubicle. I called out my classmates, but I wasn't exactly the most popular, so all I got was a couple of giggles and the occasional have fun in there comment. I thought, ha ha ha, really funny, and figured I'd be okay. At least one of them would tell the teacher, or the teacher would notice I wasn't there. They were, they were wrong. No one told the teacher, and the teacher didn't notice I was there. To make matters worse, the class was the last one before the lunch break, so I was trapped in this little cubicle for over an hour. Luckily, the next class came, and that teacher, a different teacher, finally managed to let me out. When I got back to school, my friends who were not in my class were like, where have you been? And proceeded to laugh hysterically when I told them, I never reported it to anyone, because after I got out, I found the funny side of it. Obviously, you would have been like that, right? Ha ha ha, very funny, guys. You know what I mean? Let me out. But the fact is, right, different way of thinking. The fact is, a teacher didn't notice that you're no on a bus, because they've got to do a head count. And reality is, this happens a lot. But obviously now they're a bit older, they see the funny side of it, but you've got to see the responsibility of that teacher. And that's the scary part about your children being in an establishment these establishments are supposed to, as teachers, supposed to look after your children. So this will be also my last wee funny thing, right? Or well, it's a wee story. Right? It says when they were about 7, they were obsessed with hot dogs. Not obsessed. Like I thought they were the pinnacle of culinary achievement. I'd eat them for breakfast if no one stopped me. My mum called me the Wiener King, which in hindsight sounds bad, but anyway, hot dogs are okay. But one afternoon, I decided I was going to make the perfect hot dog. I got the bun, I got the dog, microwave was a go. But then I made the fatal mistake. I grabbed the mustard bottle. Oh. Now, this mustard bottle was one of those old crusty ones where the nozzle gets glued shut. I remember the bottles. The other bottles, the other better bottles compared to what you get now. Sort of glass jar things. No, that's no same. We tried mustard boggers. So I do what any 7-year-old genius would do. I squeeze it, nothing. Squeeze harder, still nothing. So then I do the full Hulk squeeze. Arms trembling, face red, tongue out the side of my mouth, and then boom, the top exploded off. They must just think of the mess. Oh my god. The top exploded off and a violent wet plop of mustard shot out like a demon being exorcised. Oh my god. Direct hit right in my left eye. I screamed like I'd been maced. My mum ran on and thought I'd stabbed myself or something. Found me sobbing on the floor with a yellow stained shirt, mustard all over the wall, and one very sad half-made hot dog. What was he sad for? The hot dog, or the fact he'd made a mess? Probably the hot dog. Oh, to this day, I flinch around mustard bottles. Haven't forgiven them. Never will. Mustard is dead to me. Also, that shirt never recovered. R.I.P. SpongeBob JT. It's hilarious. I remember my son, my second oldest, and turned my back for 2 minutes, and he's put a fork in the microwave, right, a cup, and all you hear is I'm going, where the heck's that noise coming from? And then started seeing the microwave. And these are does anybody remember the very old microwaves? Now this was a very old microwave and extremely heavy, right? And all you see is the sparks coming out it. I had to grab the Wayne, shove them in the living room because the living room, the kitchen was connected, so I had to shove them right at the window, open all the windows, and obviously make sure everything was agreed, and also let it all cool down, and then toss everything. That was bye-bye that microwave until my son, my second oldest, decided to put a fork in the microwave. I wasn't laughing at the time, but as somebody said, you laugh about it now. Kids do kids things. You know what I mean? If you want me to read any more of these stories, then let me know. And what's your funny story that you've done at school or maybe at work? So, or maybe anything you've done in life. Now, leave it in the comment section below. And if you want me to read any more, let me know that as well. Sending love and light, and good night. And I always remember, it's like, have fun. You know, have one life, have fun, but don't make sure you don't get into trouble either. right? Good night.